Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Sometimes it feels like all the love stories we hear are just too perfect. Like they're missing all the messy stuff, the complicated stuff. Real life.
Yeah.
We'll get ready to dive into a story that flips the script. The Legend of Valentine. It's a historical fiction novel by Sheldon Collins. Oh, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, because we're going deep, deep into a world of Roman soldiers, forbidden love, and, well, the search for truth. You know, the kind that echoes, like, through the ages. And speaking of echoes, if you want to find the book, there's a link down in the description.
Right.
This book is already causing a stir. It's got awesome reviews from like Blue Ink Review, Midwest Book Review, and reader's favorite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll say this incredible blend of history and myth and romance, truly captivating. And get this, the foreword is by L. Holden. Now, Holden's a Qigong master, an energy healer, and a TV personality. Interesting combo.
Wow.
Right.
That is,
He talks about how this story went from being a screenplay to becoming this powerful novel, and you can totally feel that cinematic energy all the way through.
yeah, it's so interesting how this book tackles the whole Valentine story, you know? I mean, he's such a mystery. The introduction just pulls you in with that right away. Even historians, they argue about when he actually lived. There are like a million versions of his story going around. And get this, he was never officially made a saint by the church.
Whoa, so we have like a shadowy historical figure, conflicting stories, and a global holiday everyone celebrates, even though the Catholic calendar dropped it back in the late 60s.
Yep.
Was Valentine even real? Or just a legend? I think that question's at the heart of this book. And honestly, I think it's a question we all struggle with. What's the real truth behind all the stories we tell ourselves?
Exactly. And the book doesn't mess around. It takes us straight back to Valentine's childhood in the prologue. We meet him as a kid. They call him like Bear, and he's playing with his friend Rose out in the Italian countryside. He's all about like soldier stuff, you know. But Rose seems older somehow. The author even mentions kind of awkwardly her grown breasts. It's a subtle way of showing us she's, hitting puberty while Bear's still a kid.
It's a small detail, but wow. It really sets up how their lives are splitting in different directions. I mean, Rose is already talking about marriage, like what society expects, even how to kiss, and Bear, still in his little world of play.
Exactly. And then bam, the wolf attack. Bear, brave little guy, saves Rose. It's like foreshadowing, right? How he'll be a protector for her personally, but later on a much bigger scale.
Fast forward to chapter 1, 6268 AD, and Valentine's a soldier now, all grown up. He's part of this tight squad. Marius, who's Christian, Proculo, the philosopher, Albus, who's super impulsive, and Scaro, the strategist, always thinking 10 steps ahead. Right away, the author gives them all these unique personalities, but they have this bond, this strong connection between them. Why do you think that bond is so crucial?
Because they're going to need each other. The author's setting the stage for all the challenges they'll face together. These guys, they're not just comrades, they're family. It's going to be crucial when things get rough. And believe me, they do. Each guy brings something unique to the group, adds a whole other layer to their dynamic.
Oh, things get intense quickly. While they're marching through the Alps, the Alemanni ambush them, those fierce, dramatic tribes. The author gives us this incredible, vivid picture. Fire, arrows raining down, chaos everywhere, a burning courage, like flying toward the river. And Valentine, well, he has his hero moment, rescues the Empress from the flames. There's even this detail about an arrow, like whizzing past his cheek while he's fighting off attackers. Talking about tension.
It is powerful. It all ties back to his nickname, Bear, that instinct to protect. But now he's not just saving a friend, he's saving the Empress, the symbol of Rome itself. This one act of bravery is going to change his whole life, push him into the world of politics, raise the stakes for everything that comes next.
But here's the thing. Amidst all the praise and celebration, there's this other soldier, Linus. He's making up these hilarious stories about Valentine's womanizing, to impress the ladies. It just struck me as so ironic.
Right, especially when you consider what Valentine's thinking to himself. Inside, he's heartbroken over this past love, Lucia. So on the outside, you have this celebrated hero, symbol of strength and all that, but he's carrying this hidden wound. It really adds a layer of depth to him, reminds us that what you see isn't always the whole story.
Right. We see this play out in how he interacts with two different women. There's Serena, She's very forward. They sleep together, but he's totally emotionally detached. And then there's Agatha, a blind woman. He's so gentle and caring with her. It's almost like the author's drawing a parallel there between her physical blindness and his blindness to love, his emotional blindness.
Oh, absolutely. Subtle, but powerful. Agatha, because she's blind, she has to experience the world differently, rely on her other senses. Valentine, well, he's blinded by his heartbreak, can't open himself up to love again. It's this theme that keeps coming back in the book. How our past shapes our present and how we have to face our inner demons to really see the world clearly.
And just as Valentine's dealing with all this inner turmoil, boom, the plot thickens. Enter General Claudius. This guy is ruthless, powerful, he's persecuting Christians, even defying the emperor. That scene with the emperor's advisor trying to talk sense into Claudius, it's chilling. You realize this guy, he's a force of nature.
Oh, yeah. The author's setting us up for the conflict that's coming. Claudius embodies ambition, this hunger for power. He's willing to break all the rules, to defy authority. He's a threat not just to Valentine, but to the whole structure of Roman society. We can see it coming, this collision course they're on.
And to make it even more interesting, Valentine, well, he's starting to feel sympathy for the Christians. His time with Agatha, watching Marius and his faith, it's like he's starting to question everything.
It is a turning point. Think about it. Valentine, the loyal soldier, defender of Rome, now he's drawn to this faith that everyone considers subversive and dangerous. It shows you the power of individual conscience, the courage to question what you believe in, even when it goes against everything you've been taught.
Then, chapter 16, we see Valentine's conversion. He's badly wounded, has this powerful vision, and feels the presence of the Christian God. It feels like everything that came before, it was all leading to this moment. What do you think this transformation means for Valentine as a character, but also for the whole story?
Well, I think for Valentine, it's healing, physical and spiritual. Remember how he healed Agatha earlier? Now he's the one who needs it. This experience, it gives him a renewed purpose. He's not just fighting for Rome anymore. He's fighting for something bigger than himself, a cause he believes in.
And it sets up this amazing contrast with Claudius, right? Claudius is all about earthly power, control over Rome. But Valentine, he's embracing a different kind of power, the power of faith, of love. It's this clash of worldviews, and it's going to have some serious consequences.
You got it. And things are just going to get more intense from here. While Valentine's finding his new faith, the Roman Empire is like on the verge of falling apart. Claudius, he seizes the moment, assassinates the emperor, declares himself Caesar, and goes to war against the Christians, full force. It's a ruthless power grab, and it's going to pit Valentine against the whole might of Rome.
The tension just builds and builds. Valentine's in this desperate race against time. He's trying to find Regulus, his friend's son, who's been taken by Claudius's soldiers. He's fighting to protect the people he loves. And then the book ends on this cliffhanger. Valentine's about to break into the imperial palace. He's risking everything to appeal to Serena, the emperor's wife, for help.
It's amazing how the author weaves those personal struggles into these big historical events. Valentine's journey is like a reflection of the turmoil going on in Rome. It's a story about finding your voice, your purpose, even when the whole world around you is falling apart.
So we left off with Valentine about to sneak into the imperial palace. Talk about a cliffhanger. But before we get to that crazy moment in chapter 25, Serena's chamber, the author kind of takes us on a side trip in chapter 24. And it really changes how we see some of the characters.
Yeah, it's a flashback to Agatha's childhood, and we learn something, well, something shocking. She saw her own mother murdered.
Wow.
The killer was getting revenge on her father, Brutus, for some past wrong. And suddenly, all that cruelty, the way he treats Valentine, it takes on a whole new meaning.
It's like peeling back another layer, right? We thought we knew Brutus, but now we see this pain, this deep pain, driving everything he does. Makes you wonder, can any of us really escape our past? How much does it, shape who we become?
That's a big question, and it seems like the author's wrestling with it throughout the book. And it's Agatha, even though she's blind, she sees things so clearly. She's the one who makes Brutus face his demons. There's this powerful scene she confronts him about how he treats Valentine. And Portia, Brutus's wife, she breaks down, reveals all of her own insecurities. Then Agatha says this line, it gave me chills. I am blind, not foolish, father. He is no criminal. He is a good man, and his name is Valentine.
Whoa, Chills is right. It changes things, not just for Brutus, but for Agatha too. She's not just watching anymore, she's fighting for what she believes in, for the man she loves. And it's her courage, her belief in Valentine, that finally makes Brutus help him escape from prison.
The power of love and forgiveness, right? Even in the darkest times, there's still hope. A chance for redemption. But of course, are only a temporary break. Valentine's problems, they're far from over.
No kidding. Claudius is obsessed with catching him now. It's like this paranoia that just keeps growing. We see him grilling his guards, furious that Valentine keeps getting away. It's like a cat and mouse game. But the fate of Rome is at stake.
Claudius's paranoia, it comes from somewhere deep, you know? It's more than just wanting to catch a fugitive. He sees Valentine as this symbol of everything he hates. Christianity, compassion, defiance. He's trying to crush an idea, a whole way of life that threatens his power.
Like he's fighting a ghost, the ghost of his own insecurities. And Serena, his wife, she's stuck in the middle of all this. She's dealing with the guilt of betraying Valentine, and her husband's getting crueler and crueler. And then, to make it worse, she has a daughter, not the son Claudius wanted.
And don't forget the secret she's keeping, Valentine's child. The author doesn't shy away from showing how tough things were for women back then. Serena, she's torn between what she wants, her loyalty, and protecting her child in a world where power and survival mean more than love and compassion.
So much going on in the heart of the Empire, and Valentine's trying to rebuild his life in the shadows. He's working as a healer in this shop, using the skills he learned from Deodatus and Charu. It's a far cry from being a soldier, but he's finding purpose in helping others.
It's amazing, isn't it? This guy trained for war, for violence, and now he finds peace and healing, taking care of others. It shows how resilient we are, how we can adapt and find meaning in the most unexpected places.
And it's not just physical healing he's doing. He's secretly marrying Christian couples, defying the emperor. That scene with Crisca and Antonius coming to him for help, it's so touching. You see the strength of their faith, how love endures, even when they're being persecuted.
And it makes Valentine's situation even more ironic. He's a criminal in the eyes of Rome, but he's living out the true spirit of what Rome should be about: compassion, unity, justice. Makes you think about the nature of authority and how important human connection really is.
But Valentine can't hide forever. Claudius knows what he's doing. The tension keeps building. Claudius gets more and more desperate to catch him. You feel it, like crackling off the pages.
The author really knows how to make it intense. You're right there with Valentine. The desperation, the fear of being caught. And yet, in all the chaos, he does something so bold, so full of love for Agatha.
He proposes. Out of the blue, this beautiful moment of hope in all the darkness. What'd you think of that, proposing at a time like that?
It shows how love can be stronger than anything. It's like a declaration of faith, not just in their love, but in the possibility of a future together. But this is the Legend of Valentine, remember? Happiness never lasts.
That's for sure. Soon after, Valentine is captured, taken to the Campus Martius. He has to make a terrible choice, renounce his faith to be tortured. It's like this ultimate showdown, tyranny versus belief. Claudius represents the power of Rome, and Valentine, he stands for his convictions, unshakable.
And the author doesn't hold back on the brutality of it all. That scene with Brutius whipping Valentine, it's graphic, heartbreaking, shows what people went through for their beliefs. Even Claudius tries to get him to give up, but Valentine won't budge. He won't betray his principles.
Those are the moments when Valentine's character truly shines. He knows he's going to die, but he won't betray what he believes in, what he loves. It's inspiring. Shows how strong the human spirit can be, how we can find courage when everything's against us.
And just when it seems hopeless, Serena shows up. She tries to stop it, reason with Claudius, but he's lost it. He's consumed by paranoia and rage. It's so sad. Love and compassion just can't stand up to tyranny sometimes.
Claudius thinks he's won, and then, bam, he gets sick. Turns out that fancy feast he forced on his prisoners was poisoned. Talk about poetic justice. It's like a lesson in hubris. Those who try to control everyone, they often end up victims of their own schemes.
What a twist. And it opens up so many possibilities. With Claudius gone, General Aurelian takes charge. He releases Valentine right away. He knows it was wrong to imprison him. It's like a little light in all the darkness.
Aurelian seems different, right? More reasonable, more compassionate. But even with Claudius gone, Valentine's been through a lot. He's hurt physically and emotionally. He decides to leave Rome, go back to the Arretium region, rebuild the community that Deodatus and Charu started.
It's kind of bittersweet. Valentine suffered so much, but he comes out of it with his spirit intact. He chooses healing, love, carries on the work of those who came before him.
But wait, just when we think the story's over, Portia drops a bomb. She admits that she switched Valentine's letter to Agatha. With one meant for her, Agatha never got his declaration of love.
Whoa, that changes everything. It explains why Agatha agreed to marry someone else. And it throws their story wide open again. Will they find their way back to each other? Can their love survive all this? It reminds us that even when things seem impossible, there's still hope. There's always a chance for love to win.
What a roller coaster. The Legend of Valentine takes you from despair to hope, keeps you on the edge of your seat. We've been through it all, haven't we? Roman battles, the rise and fall of tyrants, love, betrayal. But the big question remains, What about Valentine and Agatha? Is there a happy ending for them? The epilogue jumps ahead a year to Valentine's Day, but it's not the Valentine's Day we think of with chocolates and all that. This is still a world where Claudius's persecution, it still hangs over everything. Valentine's name, it's whispered, like a symbol of resistance, not some Hallmark holiday.
It's in that world, a world of secrets and quiet defiance, that Valentine and Agatha finally meet again. Their wedding takes place in the foothills near Erythium. They're surrounded by their chosen family, this community built on love and shared ideals. It's a simple ceremony, Marius officiates, and there's this feeling of gratitude for the life they found, a testament to hope, hope that endures.
Their vows, especially Valentine's, they're so moving.
Mm.
He talks about his journey, his struggles, how he's changed, and how Agatha, she's been his light, his anchor in the storm. It's beautiful. Shows how love can redeem us, bring us back to ourselves, light up even the darkest paths.
What struck me about their reunion was, well, it wasn't about big gestures or pronouncements. It was this quiet understanding. They share a history, pain, and resilience. Their love has been tested and come out stronger. True love stories, they're not always fairy tales, are they? They're about the journey, the struggles, that commitment to each other.
The story doesn't end there, though. The author has this author's note, and he talks about blending history and imagination. He admits there are holes in the historical record, so he had to, fill in the blanks. But he tried to stay true to the spirit of the time. I like that he's honest about it, acknowledges the choices he made as an author.
He also talks about his research and writing process, which is always interesting to me. Even gives shout outs to the audiobook people, the cover designer, even the map illustrator. It reminds us that a book like this, it's a team effort. It takes so many people to make a story come alive.
And he emphasizes that at its heart, The Legend of Valentine is about love, faith, and courage. Finding light in the darkness, standing up for what's right, the human spirit overcoming adversity. It's a message that speaks to everyone.
Yeah. What makes this book so powerful is that it makes us look past all the commercial stuff around Valentine's Day, and think about what it really means. It reminds us that love, real love, it can change people, communities, even whole empires. It's about connecting to something bigger than ourselves, whether it's faith, a cause, or another person.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into The Legend of Valentine, I'm curious, what part of Valentine's story really stuck with you? Was it his faith? His love for Agatha? His bravery? Tell us in the comments, what were your favorite moments? What themes resonated with you? Did this book change how you think about love, sacrifice, and the search for truth? And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're always exploring new stories, new ideas. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the stories that matter.